This new sock monkey of mine is all beaten up. It probably is a guy, but since sock monkeys were unisex, it's hard to tell. Besides, everything to 3-year-olds is unisex. Back then, what was important was the sock monkey was a true and sometimes best friend. And for many of us, it might have been our very first friend. My new old sock monkey is stuffed with pantyhose, meaning he's probably late 60s or early 70s. My original one was early 50s. The stuffing in this guy has settled down to the feet and hands and is lacking altogether in the upper arms and upper legs. The left shoulder has a slight rip with the stuffing poking out. Various places on the body appear to have been restitched to keep the stuffing in. It doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to deduce the fact that this particular sock monkey was so important that Mom had to keep stitching it up to keep it together. Yikes, and thanks, Mom. Moms do what they need to do, and there is a time for stitching up the monkey, and there is a time for taking the monkey away. Thanks, Mom. My mother tells a story on me about my crying when she took my sock monkey away. She probably said something to the effect that you can be a little baby and walk around carrying that stupid monkey, or be a big baby and go outside and play with the other kids. She said it was traumatic for me, but in hindsight it was clear that sooner or later the sock monkey had to go. For those of you that are culturally unenlightened, sock monkey dolls were sold as kits in the 1950s and 1960s by mail order in magazines like Good Housekeeping and Woman's Day. The kit was a couple of socks and a few buttons and the instruction booklet. Assembly was required, but most moms could figure it out. Later, as the monkey's popularity soared, stores began carrying the critter. But from its humble beginnings, the sock monkey was a grassroots venture, a populous answer to fancier and more expensive toys. The two socks transformed into what would be an amazing perceptual shift for tens of thousands of toddlers just like me. The two socks became the body and the buttons and eyes, and the red heel of the sock became the red monkey lips. These materials combined to form the physical and spiritual image of my lost and very dear old friend. We little kids were in fact naive enough to believe that our sock monkey had taken on a life its own. That's right, two socks and a couple of buttons actually came alive, at least in our little imaginations. No wonder it hurt when Mom took the monkey away. It was like taking away a pet dog, life's earliest lessons laying down the foundation for future adulthood. But we do know that real live little monkeys themselves can get attached to little dolls, forming the same close attachment. Go figure. We are all cousins, little monkeys with little monkey dolls. Maybe monkeys should use little human dolls. Maybe it doesn't matter. Developmentally, as tiny tykes, we went from having sock monkey friends to having real friends. At least most of us did, although every now and then you still see someone walking around in public carrying one. The difference was real friends could speak and could play games and did not lose their stuffing in their upper arms and legs. And we learned that we couldn't drag or sling our friends to the point where they started to come apart because it was not as simple as just having Mom stitch them back up again. If we really think about it, something was going on that was bigger than a couple of socks and a few buttons. The sock monkey was a bridge from our mother's bosom to the outside world, a necessary step in human personal and social development. Without the sock monkey or something like it, we would not learn to mimic relationships and interact with others. Kids actually need sock monkeys or something like them. Maybe if all kids had sock monkeys, we wouldn't have the problem kids and the dysfunctional messes we do today. Strange to think about the power a couple of socks and a few buttons can have.